everyone, Professor I here, and this is part 1 of my welcome to class video. So if you would like, you can certainly follow along with me on your course syllabus. I'm not going to go through every single bit of information there, but I'm going to give you some highlights and then I'll ask you to read it on your own. To get to the course syllabus, you would go to Content up at the top of our Brightspace course page and click on that, and then on the left-hand sidebar you'll see course syllabus. So if you click on that, that takes you to the syllabus. And really the very first thing that you should do is to read through the syllabus so that you get a good overview of the class and an understanding of what to expect. So I'm Patty Ireland, think of leprechauns and shamrocks, but everyone calls me Professor I. And you see my email address there on the syllabus. That's the easiest, quickest way to get in touch with me. And in terms of office hours, I don't have set office hours, but if you would like to meet with me individually via Teams, Microsoft Teams, or Zoom, or Skype, or something of that nature, just send me an email, let me know, and we'll arrive at a day and time that works for both of us. This class, as I'm sure you probably know, is asynchronous, and what that means is all of the class assignments, all of the information is conveyed to you via Pellicippi's Brightspace. The class does not meet virtually in real time. So in other words, we never come all together via Zoom or Teams or something like that, but rather you take part in all the weekly activities and discussions and assignments through Brightspace. That's where you upload or post all of your assignments. So I want to welcome you to 1020. It's really a wonderful class. It builds obviously on many of the concepts you learned in 1010. And this class I'm especially excited about because it has a theme, and it's a globalized course, and that means that we look at literature written by people not just from the United States, but from other parts of the world. And that theme is human enslavement, an exploration of bondage and agency. And so we're not just talking about literal physical enslavement. We will be doing some readings about that, and in fact some of the first ones that we'll do will be about actual slavery. But we'll also be looking at other things that enslave us as human beings. So habits, ideologies, belief systems, norms, those sorts of things, addictions, all kinds of things that might enslave humans in some way, and how human beings respond and react to it and overcome some of those things. So I think it's kind of an interesting topic. My hope for you is that you will not only profit from this class academically in your academic career, but that you'll actually profit from it in real life. There's nothing more powerful in the world than the power of words. They birth, they heal, and sadly they can kill. And so to me, the most important thing about this class is learning to choose and use your words in your everyday life, both the written word and the spoken word, wisely to make the world a better place. The good news is you don't have to buy a reader, because guess what? All of our readings are online. You're welcome. I saved you a little money there. And so to get to all of the class readings, you would go to Content again, click there, and then in the left-hand toolbar, you would look for Readings. The only book that you need is the Little Seagull Handbook, and there's a picture of it there on the syllabus. It's the 3rd edition, and it's the same book that you had in English 1010. So you already know that it's great in terms of helping you with grammar and mechanics. It's great in terms of helping you with MLA citation, and it's just a wonderful resource to help make your writing better. You can read the course goals and the the expected student learning outcomes there on your own on the syllabus. And then the next section is a description of the course and the grading scale. And so basically this class is exploring 3 literary genres. That's a fancy smancy word that means types or kinds of literature, genres. And so the 3 genres we're looking at are short fiction, so short stories, poetry, and drama. And that's the way the course is divided into those units. And in the last unit, we just sort of put everything together. And you can see on your syllabus, pardon me, how the grades play out. A normal class, as you know, a class that physically meets for 3 hours a week. And in addition to that time that you're spending in the classroom, obviously you're also completing work outside of class. You're doing the readings, you're writing the papers, you're engaging in the assignments, etc. And so this class is no different than any other class in terms of the hours that you will be putting in every week. So each and every week of this course, you can expect to put in at least 4 hours and sometimes as much as 6 or more to really succeed in the class. I have a listing next in the syllabus of course policies and requirements, and you can certainly read all of that on your own, and you should, because it explains in detail things like disability services and quizzes and documents online and discussion board postings. So normally in a physical classroom, we would be discussing the readings every class day pretty much. And so the discussion boards take the place of that. And sadly, there's really no way, try as we might, to replicate that wonderful dynamic that happens in the classroom when we are interacting with each other. And that's something that I really miss. I know that you probably do too. But the closest we can come is through the discussion board postings. And so they will be important. There will be 15 of those weekly discussion boards in this class, and they each count for 10 points. Each week's board counts for 10 points. So notice that some weeks there will only be 1 topic in a board, but other weeks there might be 2. Very rarely there might be 3. Usually there's no more than 2 in a week. And the timing, in terms of the deadlines, are going to be the same throughout the semester for the discussion board postings. Your initial postings for each weekly board are due by 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday nights. And so the very first one that you'll do this week will be due by this Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. And then you need to respond to at least 1 classmate for each of those topics. So if you had 2 topics in a board, you'd respond to a classmate with each of those topics. And that response is due every week on that Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. So that's the way the boards work, and that's all there for you in the syllabus. There's a section on revisions. I do allow you to revise one of the major papers to hopefully earn a higher grade, bring your grade up a little bit. And that revision will be due no later than 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, the 22nd of November, which seems like a lifetime from now. But in another sense, it'll be here before we know it. Read the section on peer review, pre-writing, and self-review days. They're important. And also the helpful resources. There's online tutoring help that's available. I encourage you to use it. And look at the little section called How to Navigate the Information on our Brightspace course site. I've given you a lot of information, and it's all there to help you succeed. I know that it might feel overwhelming at first. So one thing you might want to do is just sort of take a few minutes and just explore the Brightspace course site. Look at content, look at discussions, look at assignments. Just sort of make your way around through the course. And what you want to do is especially if you've never taken an online class before. You want to follow the exact directions on the reading schedule within your syllabus. So once you get through all the policies and guidelines, there's the actual schedule, and it will lay out for each week what is due. Also, there's a very helpful thing that I've done for you. I've created weekly checklists for every single week within the class. So if you go to content, again up at the top, and then on the left-hand toolbar, look for weekly checklist. It'll be down toward the bottom because it's alphabetized. And you click on week 1, it's going to list off every single thing that is coming due in week 1. Same thing for every week of the class. And you can check off each task as you complete it. So that's really, really helpful to help you stay on track. It will be really important for you to stay on track. You want to look for course documents within the content section, course documents, and readings also. You post major papers, rough drafts of papers, and ideal worksheets for the major papers under the assignments tab. That's up at the top. You'll take quizzes through the quizzes tab, which is up near the top. If you want to email a classmate, you can do that through the class list tab up at the top. And also you post to the discussions boards through the discussions tab, and that is also up at the top. There are lots of other resources that I posted on our page to help you succeed, a lot of helpful links. There's general information about resources for students that offer technology tools and support, free literature, grammar exercises, grammar support, library information, and MLA help. So all of that will really, really come in handy if you're kind of struggling. The 1020 Cafe is a discussion board forum on our Brightspace page under discussions where you can talk to each other if you want. You can ask each other questions about the class. You can hopefully get to know one another. There will be some netiquette rules, so etiquette for the internet that I have posted there that I'll ask you to follow. They're essentially just common sense things. The cafe is not graded, right? It's just there for you to talk to each other virtually, but I will monitor it. And then the teacher's room is another area in the discussion boards on our Brightspace course site where you can ask me questions. Before you post to that teacher's room, check the syllabus, look at the weekly checklist, and look at the FAQs, F-A-Q-S, frequently asked questions section, which is, if you go to content, you'll see it there on the left, to see if maybe your question is answered there first. And then if it's not, go ahead and post into the teacher's room. And if you're looking around in the teacher's room and maybe you know the answer to a question that a classmate has posted, or you just have a thought about it, feel free to chime in there. And of course that section 2 is ungraded. It's just there for your edification. On the syllabus, the next section you'll see are 10 important rules for success in the class. And so you just want to read through those because there's some good information there to help you to succeed. And after that, you'll see the actual schedule for every single week. And again, there's a reminder to look at the weekly checklist page on our Brightspace course site. So for week 1, you can see if you look on your syllabus with me that you want to read through the syllabus. You want to read the paper 1 assignment sheet. That's our very first major paper assignment. And I'm introducing it to you right off the bat so that as we do the readings, you already have in your mind what it is that you might want to write about. That paper won't come due for a while, but it's a good idea to go ahead and just get it out there to you. Also, I'll ask you to read a little short piece called What is Literature? And the Elements of Fiction, another one. None of these pieces are long, but they'll be very important for you to read because that's what we would have been talking about during class. You want to purchase that little Siegel handbook if you don't still have it from 1010 the first week or so. There is an ebook version if you prefer that as well. And you want to, of course, watch my videos, part 1 and part 2. And then you want to post in the week 1 discussion board. So the first board is getting to know you. And you can go to that board and you can follow the instructions there. And the second one is called Tell Me a Story. And again, you would follow the instructions there, and your initial posting would be due before 11:59 this Wednesday, the 26th. And then your response to a classmate on both topics would be due before 11:59 this Sunday, the 30th. And so that is sort of how that works. So I'm going to wind up part 1 here, and join me for part 2, because that's when I'm going to talk to you about paper 1, go through that assignment sheet with you, about the What is Literature sheet and the elements of fiction. So I'll see you back in just a little bit.